Advantage Leeds as we enter 2025 as they picked up maximum points this past match day with, of course, Sheffield United and Burnley both dropping points, who, of course, took full advantage. We'll take a look at that and much more next. That's right, folks, back once again with another prediction video. Today is all about match number 25, that's right, over in Championship, of course, with Leeds, top of the table and looking destined for promotion. But standing in the way this match day is my own beloved Blackburn Rovers. Can we cause a shock this time around? We'll take a look at that and more in a second. If you knew where you've been, subscribe, your one-stop shop for Blackburn Rovers. Championship World Football is right here under one rooski. The race for automatics is still realistically between three clubs, but the race for the drop is, of course, wide open. Anyone's guess. As, of course, big wins for Cardiff, Hull City, Oxford as well, and even Stoke, big wins to move them away from the drop zone. We'll take a look at all that and more in a second. Big shout out to the members. You know who you are. And a big shout out to the Patreons. You know who you are. But what we're going to do now, though, is revisit those last games, bring it bang up to date, and, of course, look at the Superbru, and then, of course, kick off 2025. Alrighty then, folks, let's turn the clock back to 2024. That's right, the final games of the season. And these were those shocks galore up and down the division. Norwich and QPR with a 1-1 draw. And that one, the Canaries continued to drop points. Meanwhile, Preston with a massive 3-1 win over the away amazing team that is Sheffield Wed. Everybody thinks they're bloody amazing on the road, but they shit the bed against Preston. 3-1 win in the end. Sheffield United and West Brom could only duke it out to a 1-1 draw. Rovers shit the bed themselves against Hull City. Could not find the back of the net. Bristol City with a 3-0 win over Portsmouth. Big win for them to move them up the table. Portsmouth have continued to be hot and cold. Same can be said for Coventry with a 0-0 draw against Millwall. And was that under matey boy? What's his name? We'll find out in a minute. The new coach at Millwall. Meanwhile, Oxford under Gary Rowett make it back-to-back wins, I think. 2-0 winners over Plymouth to move them up to 20th. Stoke City with a massive win themselves over Sunderland. No more Nelson Pashliesh on that one. They're looking to bring in a new coach over there. Swansea City with a 2-1 win over Luton Town. Again, Luton continue to struggle. Meanwhile, Watford with a loss as well at home to Cardiff. 2-1 win. Didn't see that one coming. Leeds with a 1-0 win over Derby, and Borough and the Freaks with a 0-0 draw over at the Riverside. The table, though, looks like this, guys. It is Leeds at the top of the table. 3 points maximum there. Only just a point for Sheffield United and Burnley. Sunderland, of course, Rovers both lost on their recent match days, and Middlesbrough with only a point against Burnley. Watford losing, West Brom drawing, Swansea winning to close in on the playoffs themselves. Going down, it is Plymouth, it is Portsmouth, it is Cardiff still, but it is quite tight. Anyone's guess at the moment who's going down. We have got a Superbru update. Bring you bang up to date. Sit tight. There you have it, folks. This is the update for you. Kovlad has topped the charts there with 16 points this past week over in the Championship. The Gaffers up there in silver spot with 13. Alex Weller, Hansworth, and Wankers Claret. I mean, Wakers Clarets. I thought it was Wankers Clarets. Probably Wankers Claret seems about right. Dream Marley, then Russell Frost in there. Of course, a bit of a shitty one for me, I would imagine. Not really seeing myself anywhere. And there I am. Pretty grim, despite a recent run of form. Quick look at the leaderboard itself. So it looks like this. KP21 still runs away a bit. 256.5. He's got 10 points clearance over Alex Weller, who is a mover up into second spot. Newton Abbey down to number 3. I'm still in the top 10, which is great. But realistically, I want to make a push for the top 5. That's my New Year's resolution, guys. And I'm coming after you. If you see your name in there, please smash your like, smash your subscribe. Of course, we're going to keep on going to the bitter end, guys. And of course, these guys here slackinsters. But of course, we'll be bang up to date 2025. Let's get into it. This is the link if you want to get involved. It's 100% free, guys, as you know. Of course, we'll keep you updated as and when we get the predictions. But of course, the games do not rest here. We enter 2025 with, of course, another busy schedule. So let's take a look at these games and they're coming at you. I think they're all on the 1st of January. That's right. And it is a busy schedule for all of us. We're going to start with a trip down south. That's right. It is Plymouth Argyle. We're taking on Bristol City. And it's coming at you. The early kickoff on New Year's Day. They'll be playing with hangovers. Plymouth under Wayne Rooney, 24 for the table, 18 points for the campaign. They were winless in at least the last 9 games. Liam Manning's Bristol City are back-to-back wins for them, 50% form. Coming at you, sitting in 10th for the table, 33 points for the campaign. They played Plymouth 18 times since 2002, 4 wins for Plymouth, 11 wins for Bristol City. There's been 3 draws between the two sides. The last time they played at this very venue was a 1-0 win for Bristol City, who've won competitively, 3 wins on the spin against Plymouth, conceding just the 1 goal in those last 3. The Green Army on the back of successive away losses. The last time they were at home, they did pick up a point against high-flying Middlesbrough. Bristol City, though, on the back of successive home wins. The last time they were on the road, they did lose to West Brom. So on the road, not great in the recent run of games. They picked up 1 point in the last 3 on the road. Bristol City, though, will be coming at you. Maybe favourites, 6-5 on for the victory, 3-1 is your Plymouth, 11-4 is the draw. I'm going with the Green Army here. I'm backing Wayne Rooney's boys. They got to win soon. I think this might be the start, not of a resurgence, but definitely an important win for Wayne Rooney to at least stay off the sack for a little bit of time long. I think FA Cup weekend is probably, I think if he fails, I think what I'm looking at here is they'll need to win this one and then possibly win the next one to stay off the sack. If they wins this one, loses the next one, then I think he's going to be sacked before the FA Cup. Meanwhile, QPR take on Watford at a London Classic. That's right, at Loftus Road. QPR under Marty Cifuentes, 17th for the table, 26 points for the campaign, just 1 win in the last 4. Up against Watford under Tom Cleverley. Bit of a hot and cold kind of form right now. 50%, won 2, lost 2, and drawn 2 over the last 6. They sit 7th with 37 points for the campaign. Played each other 28 times since 1998. 9 wins for QPR, 13 wins for Watford. 6 draws between the two sides. The last time they played at QPR was a 2-1 win for Watford back in January 2024. They also played this season over at Vicarage Road. It was a 0-0 draw. Watford are unbeaten against QPR over the last 3, 2 wins and a draw to boot. Watford, though, on the back of that 2-1 surprise loss to Cardiff, 2-1 win there. The QPR with only probably a massive point in the end, 1-1 draw against Norwich at Carrow Road. QPR, though, 6-4 for the victory, 70-10 is your Watford, 12-5 is the draw. I'm going to go with a win for Watford on this one. Oh, no, sorry, take that back. I take that back. A win for QPR on this one. I just think Cifuentes, whatever you want to call him, he's proven to be a good manager. Yes, he has some bumps in the road, but it looks like they're going to be a-okay QPR for the long term, and they've got to win these games. I think Watford are there for the taking. And of course, massive points will be for QPR and for Rovers. Meanwhile, Millwall up against Oxford. This one's got a bit of a spice to it, that's right. It's the Gary Rowett derby, that's right, at the Den. Alex Neil is supposed to be coming in for Millwall, but still yet to sign the paperwork, according to me, as of right here, right now, on the 30th of December. Millwall under David Livermore, 13th at the table, 29 points for the campaign, 25% for 1-1, lost 1, and drawn 1 under Livermore. Up against Oxford under Gary Rowett, back-to-back wins for them, 20th at the table, 24 points for the campaign. Coming into this on 42% form, played each other 9 times since 1993. 3 wins Millwall, 4 wins Oxford, 2 draws between the two sides. The last time they played at this very venue was a 3-0 win for Oxford back in April 2017 in League One. They also played each other this campaign at the Kazam. It was a 1-1 draw back on match day number 18. Millwall on the back of that 0-0 draw against Coventry on the road. Goodness gracious me. Meanwhile, Oxford on the back of a 2-0 win over Plymouth to make it back-to-back wins over the strugglers. That's the importance of those victories. Beating Cardiff, beating Plymouth. Those are the teams in and around them, but this will be the first test for Gary Rowett on the road. It's a winnable game, I'll give him that. 6-4 on is your Millwall, 4-1 is your Oxford, 11-4 is the draw. I think I might be leaning towards a draw here. It's one of those games, of course, it could go either way. It could be a draw, I'm leaning towards a draw, but I'm going to stick with my gut. My gut was a 1-0 win for Millwall, and they will take the 3 points and move the chain. Next up, we go to Turdmore. That's right, as Burnley under Scotty Parker take on Stoke under Ryan Shawcross. That's right. Coming at you, one of the 3 o'clock kickoffs. 26 times they've played since 1994. 11 wins for Burnley, 7 wins for Stoke, 8 draws between the two sides. Burnley are third, 48 points for the campaign. They're unbeaten in the last 6 matches, picked up 3 wins and 3 draws. Meanwhile, Stoke under Ryan Shawcross on the back of a win, 18th at the table, 25 points for the campaign. Coming at you, though, over at Burnley. The last time they played at this very venue, it was a 1-1 draw back in October 2022. Burnley, though, are unbeaten against Stoke over the last 6, picking up 4 wins and 2 draws. Speaking of draws, Burnley on the back of that 0-0 draw against Middlesbrough. Stoke on the back of that 1-0 win over Sunderland. Important win that was for them. Meanwhile, the odds here, 50-8 on is your Burnley, 14-5 the draw, 11-2 is, of course, your Stoke City, who are under Shawcross. You don't know. You just don't know. They caused an upset perhaps against Sunderland. Could they cause an upset here against Burnley? I don't think so. Going to go big, going to go ugly, unfortunately. 3-0 win, which is not the tonic Rovers need heading into the derby on the 4th of Jan. Meanwhile, Cardiff up against Coventry, the Battle of the Seas over in Wales. That's right. Omar Ritzer's boys, 22nd in the table, 21 points for the campaign. They've just got 1 win in the last 6. Up against Coventry under Frank Lampard, 15th 15th in the table, 28 points for the campaign. You just don't know with Frank Lampard right now. 1-1 loss, 1 drawn over the last 3. Played each other 30 times since 2003, 14 wins for Cardiff, 7 wins for Coventry. There's been 9 draws between the two sides. The last time they played over at Cardiff, in Cardiff, was a 3-2 win for the Welsh back on September 2023. Cardiff are actually unbeaten against Coventry over the last 4, picking up 2 wins and 2 draws, including a 2-2 draw at the Rico, or the RCA Stadium, back in November 2024. They've only lost once against them in the last 6. Meanwhile, Cardiff on the back of that 2-1 win over Watford. Coventry with that 0-0 draw against Millwall. Back-to-back clean sheets, though, for Coventry. I'll give them that. The odds for this one, 50-8 is your Cardiff, 30-10 is your Coventry, 5-2 is the draw. I don't know. I really don't know. I can't remember which way I went on this one, but it feels like Coventry should get something out of this. Yeah, I'm going with the draw here, which continues that recent run of form for Cardiff against Coventry. So yeah, draw seems about right. Again, I think it's 2 steps forward, 1 step back for Frank Lampard and Coventry. They'll eventually get some progress going, but right now it seems to be they're stuck in the mud somewhat. Meanwhile, speaking of stuck in the mud, Rovers are stuck in the mud. They're taking on Leeds United, coming at you at Ellen Road. Goodness gracious me, this is not what I'm looking forward to as we enter 2025. Leeds under Daniel Farker, top of the table, winning 5 of the last 6. In fact, they haven't lost in the last 6 matches. 51 points for them. Up against Rovers under John Eustace, 5th in the table, 38 points for the campaign. They are winless now in the last 3 matches, despite our, that good bit of form of late. Played each other 39 times since 1993, 16 wins for Leeds, 14 wins for Rovers. There's been 9 draws between the two sides. Recently, though, I'll give ourselves some clout. We did the double over Leeds last season with back-to-back 1-0 wins. But it's not been the greatest bit of form for Rovers coming into this. With the winners in the last 3, a couple of losses against Millwall and Hull. Sunderland could only pick up a point as well. Our away form is okay, I guess. Looking back, just 1 defeat on the road in the last 3 matches. Leeds, though, have been pretty faultless. 3 clean sheets on the spin and 3 wins on the spin. So yeah, it's hard to argue against the Leeds victory here. 11-4 on is your Leeds, 13-2 is your Rovers, 4-1 is the draw. This could be the beginning, not of the end, but just of a very miserable start to the new year. Good to go with that Leeds victory here, guys. Unfortunately, I can't see it. The way we played against Sunderland, very lastminute.com there at home. The way we played at Millwall losing. The way we played at home to Hull. 2 of the last 3 games we failed to score. We can't score for Toffee. We ain't going to score this one. 2-0 win. Leeds taking it all 3 points. Meanwhile, we'll go down to Kenilworth Road as Luton Town take on Norwich. That's right. Luton under Rob Edwards. Just 1 win in the last 4 matches. 19th for the table, 25 points for the campaign. Up against Norwich under Jonas Todop. 1 win in the last 6. They are 12th for the table, 30 points for the campaign. And played each other 15 times since 1995. 7 wins Luton, 8 wins Norwich. 0 draws between the two sides. Does that mean we're due a draw? It does bloody well mean we're due a draw. Last time we played at Kenilworth Road, it was a 2-1 win for Luton back in Boxing Day 2022. They also played each other this season at Carrow Road as a 4-2 win for Norwich back in November. Luton on the back of that 2-1 loss to Swansea, back-to-back away defeats. At home, though, they are different. They are tricky to beat. In fact, they've unbeaten the last 3 matches at home, beaten Derby, beaten Stoke, and drawn with Swansea. Norwich, though, 1-1 draw against QPR. Their away form is pretty shitty. Winless in at least the last 3 games. They've only scored 1 goal in the last 3 on the road. The odds for this one, then, we're looking at 6-4 is your Luton, 17-10 is your Norwich, 12-5 is the draw. I feel like Luton Town should win this one. Going with a 3-1 win at home. They are something else. So, fear the Hatters at home. Portsmouth, same deal. Up against Swansea. They're going to be quite tricky to beat at home, despite their pretty shitty form right now. Portsmouth under John Mousinho, 23rd in the table, 20 points for the campaign, just 1 win in 5. Up against Swansea under Luke Williams, 9th in the table, 33 points for the campaign, back-to-back wins. Now, they played each other 4 times since 2009, 1 win apiece and 2 draws. Last time they played each other at Portsmouth, it was a 0-0 draw back in April 2011. Of course, Portsmouth haven't beaten Swansea at home. They haven't even scored against Swansea in the 2 times they played since 2009. Portsmouth, though, on the back of that successive 2 away defeats on the spin. The last time they were at home, they picked up a win against Coventry. They also drew with Norwich, and they also beat Bristol City. They've scored, what we're looking at, 7 goals in the last 3 games combined, conceding just a 1 goal when at Fratton Park. So bear that in mind. Swansea City, though, on the back of successive home wins, their away form has been shitty. The odds for this one, then, Portsmouth for 15-8 for the victory, 11-8 is your Swansea, 12-5 is the draw. Bookies back in Swansea, but not me. You're going to back Portsmouth here with a 2-1 win at Fratton Park. no bueno. Meanwhile, Sheffield Wednesday, they're up against Derby over at Hillsborough. And again, home side might have the advantage here, but it's going to be a tricky old game to call. 50% form for Sheffield Wednesday. They're 11th in the table. 1-2 lost to and drawn 2 over the last 6. 1 defeat in the last 4. Up against Derby under Paul Warne. They're on 42% form for them. 1-2 and lost 2 over the last 4 matches, sitting in 16th with 27 points for the campaign. Last time they played each other at Hillsborough, it was a 1-0 win for Sheffield Wednesday back in May 2023. Wednesday have already beaten Derby. At the start of December, it was a 2-1 win at Pride Park. They're actually unbeaten against them over the last 5. 3 wins and a couple of draws. Wednesday, though, on the back of successive games without a win, but both of those games were on the road. At home, though, they did pick up a 2-0 win over Stoke. Derby, though, on the back of an away home loss against Leeds. The last time they were on the road, they did lose to Luton Town. And again, looking at their recent home form, they've only scored, away form, they've only scored 1 goal in the last 3 matches, but they did take on some heavyweights, Leeds United and Burnley on the road. The odds for this one, then, Wednesday, even Stevens for the victory, 14-5 is your Derby, 12-5 is the draw. It feels like a Wednesday victory here, guys, but I'm going to go with the draw. It feels like a Wednesday victory, but I think Derby will be stubborn enough to grab something of late with a 1-1 draw on that one. Meanwhile, we go to the Baggies. It is West Bromwich Albion up against Preston. And currently, it is Chris Brunt still doing the talking in the dugout for the Baggies up against Preston under Paul Heckingbottom, who have started going under the radar a little bit. And I hate to say it. West Bromwich Albion are 8th in the table, 36 points for the campaign, 50% form for them, 1-2 lost to and drawn 2 over the last 6. Preston under Paul Heckingbottom, 67% form for them, 1 defeat in the last 6. And they are 14th in the table, 29 points for the campaign. Played each other 24 times since the year 2000. 14 wins for West Brom, 7 wins for Preston. There's been 3 draws between the two sides. The last time they played at this venue was a 3-0 win for West Brom back in May 2024. West Brom are unbeaten against Preston over the last 4, and they've only conceded 1 goal against them in those last 4 matches, which was the reverse fixture at Deepdale back in November 2024. The last 2 times they played at the Hawthorns, West Brom come out top without conceding a goal. The Baggies, though, back-to-back games now without a win. Again, both of those games were on the road. It's actually been 3 away matches without a win. Home form is paramount. Back-to-back clean sheets for them. Back-to-back 2-0 wins. Preston, though, back-to-back home wins for them. Their last away match was a 2-1 loss to QPR. The odds for this one: West Brom 6-5 on for the victory, 10-3 is your Preston, 5-2 is the draw. Got to go back the Baggies on this one with the home form, 2-0 win. For the recent run of events will continue, and they'll take the 3 points and move the chains. Meanwhile, Hull City under Ruben Selles up against Middlesbrough under Michael Carrick coming out of the MKM Stadium. Selles 21st in the table, 22 points for the campaign, 42% form for them right now, winning 2 times in the last 3 matches. Up against the Borough, 3 draws on the spin, just 1 win in the last 6. They are 6th in the table, 37 points for the campaign. They are the draw kings right now. 28 times they've played since 2007. 10 wins for Hull, 13 wins for Middlesbrough. 5 draws between the two sides. The last time they played at this very venue was a 2-2 draw back in April 2024. Middlesbrough did beat Hull at the Riverside back in November this season. It was a 3-1 win then. Borough, though, on the back of 3 successive draws, including a 3-3 draw at Plymouth, back-to-back home draws against Wednesday and Burnley. The away form has not been great. They haven't won in at least the last 3 away matches, losing to Leeds and drawing with Burnley. Hull City on the flip side, back-to-back home games without a loss, drawn with Watford and then beating Swansea. I think it's a little bit different right now. I think Hull are starting to turn a page. 9-4 for them. The odds 11-10 is your Boroughs, 5-2. The draw. Going with the Hull City victory here, 2-1 win. I just saw something about them. I saw the fight, the tenacity. They're chipping in for Selles right now, and I think they'll get another victory, which of course will push them clear of the drop zone. And then we end it with a late kickoff, the late kickoff as Sunderland take on Sheffield United on New Year's Day at the Stadium of Light. Sunderland and Reggie Lebree are 4th in the table, 44 points for the campaign, back-to-back games though without a win. Up against Sheffield United under Chris Wilder, back-to-back games without a win, sitting 2nd, 49 points for the campaign. You win this, Sunderland, and you are definitely back in the automatic race. 22 times they've played since 1994, 10 wins for Sunderland, 9 wins for Sheffield United. 3 draws between the two sides. The last time they played at this very venue was a 2-1 win for Sheffield United back in March 2023. The Blades have beaten the Mackems 3 successive times, including a 1-0 win at Bramall Lane back in November. Sheffield United on the back of that 1-1 draw against West Brom. Of course, they did lose to Burnley as well. The last match they were on the road, though, was a 2-0 win over Cardiff. Sunderland, though, on the back of that shock 1-0 loss at Stoke. Of course, they could only draw against Rovers, but the last time they were at home, they did beat Norwich City with a 2-1 win. The odds for this one is 13-10 is your Sunderland, 2-1 is your Sheffield United, 12-5 is the draw. This feels like it could be a Sunderland victory. Sheffield United this might be their blip in their season. Sheffield United, and I think Sunderland will take all 3 points. I'm going to go with a 3-2 goal fest on New Year's Day to kick off 2025 in style. That is what I've got here, guys. Make sure you get your own picks in as well. We'll update you with the Superbru in the next round of games, which of course is the big one. Rovers taking on Burnley and more. Until then, though, subscribe, smash the like, catch you later. I'll see you in 2025. But until then,